Sunday we have planned for you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I hear, is that Marcel or Lincoln?
That's Lincoln barking. He knows I have cookies in my pocket.
You came prepared, Andrew.
That's the little guys.
Well, Andrew, this is an amazing day because for so many years I know you've wanted to do this. Thank you for inviting us into your Santa Monica home.
30 years. It's Linky, no more, buddy. It's been 30 years that I've wanted to do this, and we finally put together the technology to pull this off. And hoping by doing this, because my shows have decreased over the years, my Today specials have decreased over the years, hopefully we'll be able to return a little bit more frequency by making this able to happen more frequently. So, and first and foremost, we wanted to start with our Today special, our Ultimate Friendly Flora, which is a brand new version of that formula. We've made changes in that formula over the years. We do that with virtually every formula. We're constantly improving it. But the improvements today to our Ultimate Friendly Flora are truly the greatest that you've seen. You might look at the label and say, wow, it looks pretty much the same. But the actual characteristics of the strains, of the species of probiotics that we've used have dramatically improved their stability of the bottle, their stability in your stomach, because it has to get by the acid in your stomach, and then its ability to deliver its benefits to your immune system, to your digestive system, to your urogenital system, to your respiratory system. So it's already a almost perfectly reviewed product. Now, it truly has become a perfect product as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it really is the finest of its kind, and folks, no refrigeration required. We'll get into this a lot because this is the time of year where really this is going to come to good use. I want to go over the pricing because today's pricing is the best of the entire year. 4 size options, 30, 60, 120, or 240. This is where the pricing normally is in that column. Here's today's special pricing. If you go for the larger size, you save more than you're spending, and it's on 4 FlexPay. I started taking it because I was challenged with acid reflux and acid medication that I was taking. But for many of us, we don't really realize that this is not so much an option. It really is critical to get that friendly flora into our system is so important. And as Andrew mentioned, this is day number 1, the worldwide launch. Andrew, you had mentioned that this is the biggest leap since the very first friendly flora product. It's more stable than ever before, and therefore, I suppose, more effective, right?
Well, that's the key, and most companies really don't consider all those attributes. We started our investigation, our research on a probiotic product over 30 years ago, but it wasn't until about 20 years ago that we finally introduced a product, which gives you a sense of how patient I am about creating a product. First of all, I realized that if I created a product that required constant refrigeration, like vigilant refrigeration, it wasn't going to be practical. So I had to develop a product that delivered its benefits, but didn't have to be refrigerated and could stay stable for a year, 18 months without any problems at all. So that was a difficult accomplishment. It took more than a decade. And since that time, we've only continued to improve it. And as I said, this being the greatest improvement that we've ever performed on this product, I could show just on this first chart here. I'm not sure if we can get this first chart up here. But on this first chart here, it shows the subtle changes in the strains and species where we have still over 25 billion, it's not million with an M, that's billion with a B, 25 billion colony-forming units per capsule. That's not per 2 or 3 or 6, that's per capsule. So 25 billion, more than 25 billion colony-forming units per capsule. We not only tell you what the strain is, we tell you its specific identification. So our Lactobacillus acidophilus LA14, if you reviewed clinical studies, you would find that these are the strains that are discussed in the clinical studies. Our Lactobacillus plantarum, LP115, our Lactobacillus paracasei, LPC37, and our Bifidobacterium lactis, 2 different strains, HN019 and BI04. We've created a formula that's even more stable than our prior formula. And again, I have a chart, a science chart that will go through this, but it's not enough to put great strains in a capsule. Those great strains have to stay stable in that capsule. Those great strains have to survive the pH in your gut which can be as low as 1 or 2. That's the most acidic environment imaginable. So it has to be able to survive that. And then like a farmer planting seeds in a field, you want those probiotic organisms to take hold. You want them to germinate. You want them to propagate. That is the only way you experience their benefits. So that is why we're constantly at the drawing board. We're constantly analyzing the product, making changes with the product, improving the product, so your benefits improve. Because the benefits to this product, you mentioned gastroesophageal reflux disease. This is not a cure or a treatment for that, but so many of us take these acid-suppressing drugs that today are incredibly powerful. In the old days, we took a Tums or Rolaids, which was just buffering. Now we take these proton pump inhibitors that actually inhibit the secretion and the creation of hydrogen ions, of acidic ions. So we are dramatically elevating, unfortunately, eliminating that acidity, which is necessary for digestion, necessary for the healthy environment for our probiotics. So we are disrupting our digestive system with these proton pump inhibitors, with all the antibiotics we must take and all the other medications. So it absolutely is essential in modern times because our food supply is also sterilized. In the old days, we were out in the dirt, we were growing things ourselves, we had our hands in the fields, we were among the probiotic organisms. They lived with us, we lived with them, and no longer is that the case. So we really need to supplement them because our food supply is sterilized. So it's critically important that we really contemplate what we're doing. And with my products, this comes of decades of experience, there are thousands of strains you could choose from. And some companies get cute making this claim or that claim, medical claims, and I really don't like the fact that these products are being positioned almost as medicines or drugs. They are not that. Probiotics are an essential part of who we are. The probiotics in our colon contain more genetic material than we contain genetic material in our entire body. There are more probiotic cells in our colon, just our colon, not all the other systems that rely on them, but just in our colon, then we have cells in our body. If we think that's an accident, it is not. They are not just these foreigners living in our body. They are an integral partner. They are an integral part of healthy digestion, healthy immune system function, healthy brain function. There's no escaping that. So again, this is our best pricing ever on this product. It's our best product ever because we constantly improve it. And if you loved it before, we didn't make dramatic changes. All we did is take the species and the strains that you love and improved each and every one of them and increased the potency of the product as well. And again, best pricing ever.
There's so much to unpack there. What Andrew just mentioned is so important that we all kind of absorb this information, and that's what Andrew loves to do the best, is to give us the information that we need. It's critical. For me, Ultimate Friendly Flora is a very important product. I now never go a day without it. It's essential for so many reasons, as Andrew said. We've got to give our body what it needs. This does not require refrigeration. This gives you the highest potency. So if we're going to do anything, if we're going to take any vitamins or any supplements, we want to make sure that they are the best they can possibly be. The pricing today is a real driver to invest in ourselves because we hear these words and Andrew makes it affordable for us. So, for what Andrew's done, day one, the first time ever on the air, the brand new, more potent, more stable, best formula ever, that's where the pricing normally is. If you order it today before midnight, you're able to get it at the lowest pricing of the entire year. So most of us, as I did before I came on air today, I got the 240 capsules, $89.90. I'm saving more than I'm spending. Okay, this isn't something where there's a side effect. This isn't something where there's any downside to it. It's all good. And Andrew, to your point, this is so much more. It's about digestion. It's about more or better nutrient absorption. It's regularity. It has that knock-on effect throughout.
Well, if all we did was consider our brain, consider our mood, consider how we move through the world consciously as a human being, there is no escaping, no avoiding the fact that there is a deep and very profound connection between our gut and our brain. In fact, most people, if you ask them where serotonin, if they know that serotonin is a critical neurotransmitter, a parasympathetic focused, a relaxing sort of focused neurotransmitter. If you ask most people, where is serotonin secreted? They'd say, oh, it's secreted in the brain. Obviously, it's an important neurotransmitter. It's secreted in the brain. No, 80% of that serotonin is secreted where? in the gut, in the small intestine, dependent upon that probiotic organism, those probiotic organisms to do so. So there's no escaping the connection. Our urogenital health. Again, if we want to have healthy bladder, kidneys, urinary tract, respiratory tract, all the openings to our body rely on probiotic organisms to keep themselves healthy. It is part of the immune response to our body, to those openings in our body, which are areas of potential vulnerability. So we think about this when you see the ads for all these probiotic products. They're promoting them as like drugs, basically, for the digestive system. But these are an integral part of who we are. As much as we might think we are the cells of our body and these probiotic organisms live inside us, they outnumber us. And in a healthy body, they outnumber us, and it's a perfect balance. And what we do with our product is we make sure we focus on the balance that gives you the probiotic species that you want, that have been the focus of the clinical studies, that have been the focus of the research for decades. And what we've been doing constantly is improving that formula. What I was going to do is just read a few reviews. We have some reviews here, and then I'll probably dig into the science before we run along. Just to let everyone know, I think we're roughly already halfway through our quantity, so whether it's our Ultimate Friendly Flora, or whether it's going to be our PC Liver and Brain, or liver antioxidant extracts, we are way ahead of schedule on all of them, so they will be running out before the end of today, unfortunately. And because this is a brand new formula, we didn't perhaps make as much as we would have made, so it's something, again, that we struggle because there are so many different probiotic species that are specifically and uniquely blended and balanced for us. Again, I say this about my turmeric, I say this about our omega-3s. We make our products. Most vitamins you buy are not made by their manufacturer. It's manufactured by a contract, a co-packer, somebody else. So everything we make is specifically made for us, for you. So sometimes that's the limitations we struggle with for today's special. Usually we have enough for everyone. I'm not confident that's going to be the case today. But just reading some reviews on our Ultimate Friendly Flora, and this is the old version, which the new version takes it and makes it more stable, enhances it, makes it more active and more beneficial. So as we look here, these are just what my doctor wants me taking. I have stomach issues and have been told to take a probiotic that has a combination of different live cultures, which is what we do here. So Ultimate Friendly Flora fits the bill. Ultimate Friendly Flora, this is my 5th reorder. I will never be without this. There are no other probiotics that compare to this one. I've tried numerous probiotics, and the only time my doctor has positive news is when I'm taking Andrew Lessman's product. 5 stars on this one from Marie in Illinois. Only probiotic that works. And we have dozens of reviews that speak just the same. I'd purchased this product previously, and it was the only product I've used that worked consistently beyond a week. It worked well with digestion, no heartburn, no discomfort, and regularity. Another surprise, after I ran out, within a week I noticed my annual spring allergies returned and had difficulty sleeping. Once I received my reorder, I noticed my allergy symptoms improved within 2 weeks. Again, immune system implications. I don't think I will ever go without Ultimate Friendly Flora. Just what the doctor ordered. Ultimate Friendly Flora is an excellent probiotic, and I also love the fact that doctors now recognize these are not optional ingredients. These are an integral part of who we are, how our digestive system and immune system functions. So within a week, my bloating and discomfort, and most importantly, my constipation was completely gone. I love it. Feels so much better. I just wanted to wait until I had a chance to see what this product would do before I wrote a review. I've been taking 1 capsule a day for 6 weeks now, and wow, I feel so much better. I rarely feel good after I eat, even with a strict no-gluten diet. I noticed after a few weeks of taking Ultimate Friendly Flora that after I ate, I didn't have that annoying feeling of bad digestion. I didn't feel anything, which is wonderful. I've been taking another name brand probiotic for years and decided to try this. I'm not a name brand, but we certainly have the quality. I'm so happy I did. Taking this product has made a huge difference in my life. Thank you so much. Good product, cheaper than at drugstores, cheaper than virtually everywhere. My husband, when you look at what you're getting, cheaper than virtually everything. My husband has to use a probiotic due to ongoing antibiotic use. So many of us have to do the same. We used to go to the drugstore and pay $27 to $29 for a month's supply of probiotics. Here, you're getting a 240, you're getting an 8-month supply. So if you divide that per month, what does that end up being? About $10 a month. He wanted a wide variety of strains as well as a high quantity. We tried Ultimate Friendly Flora when we were ordering Andrew Lessman's Turmeric 400. He loves it. This 180 count bottle actually saves us so much money. Can't go wrong with this product. And only once a year do we do a 240 count. And that's today for the Today Special. Can't live without this. I absolutely can't live without Ultimate Friendly Flora. I've been taking this since 2015 and have not had any stomach issues since. I was always bloated, could not eat certain things, and always felt awful. When our digestion doesn't work, our lives don't work. I went through many tests for my constant bloating and upset stomach, and they could not find anything wrong. I started taking this and haven't had a problem since. I ran out last year during a move and had to wait to reorder. I went about 2 weeks without it, and the issues started to come back. I will never be without it again. I bought enough to last 2 years. Thank you. You don't have to do that. We always will make sure this is available. And every year around this time, we will do a Today Special. Thank you, Andrew, for such a great product, along with the many other vitamins of yours that I take. Just a couple more. The best probiotic. I just received this bottle shortly after Andrew Lessman's recent airing. This is the best probiotic out there on the market. I just visited my doctor again, and he took another scraping and viewed it under a microscope. He said he saw very good germs. He is always impressed with the good germs. He only says this when I'm using this product. I ordered him a small bottle as a Christmas present. Thank you for such a great product. Probiotics are important. As my husband and I are over 55, I believe probiotics are important, especially for my husband, as he has lymphoma and has received chemotherapy. Everything seems to be better regulated when we take probiotics. I mean, chemotherapy, unfortunately, it can be very toxic to our body, including our probiotic organisms. There are no indigestion complaints and no feelings of nausea after meals. We still eat yogurt and drink kefir, but it is difficult to consume enough to be effective every day, and we make sure it's effective. With the addition of Ultimate Friendly Flora, we feel, or I feel, confident we are getting what we need. This works. My husband had a total hip replacement and is now awaiting knee surgery. He's in bed 75% of the time and is on pretty strong pain meds. He had bowel movements once a week if he was lucky. Oh my God. Laxatives gave him cramps and discomfort. Then I saw Andrew Lessman speak about this product. The answer to our prayers. 1 capsule each day and my husband is back on track. I also took these while undergoing chemo. It was much easier on my intestines than laxatives and healthier too. Thank you, Andrew Lessman, for a great product. Check with your doctor first. As I always say, it's not a drug or a medicine, but this product works great for us, always keeping these on hand for our daily regimen. We take several of your vitamins also. Wow. So it's an opportunity to see the difference these can make.
And these are real words. I mean, as Andrew reads these, it's so compelling because it's real. There's over 1,300 of them online at hsn.com. You heard Andrew make mention that we are way ahead of schedule, and we are indeed more than 50% now sold out. If you're heading out this afternoon or you're busy seeing friends or family, these will be gone, folks, by the end of the day. I want you to try it. We talk about probiotics. We've heard and seen, read the importance of them. We know we've got to have them. Let's take the world's finest. Today, you're buying the best it has ever been. I want to show you this pricing because we only have 5 minutes left before we go to our second and third today's special, which is going to be PC, liver and brain and liver antioxidants. The best in the world at the best pricing ever. It has never been a more competitive, more affordable day to invest in yourself. Before they sell out later today, I want to make sure you get yours like I got mine. Do a try me if you so desire. Nothing wrong with that. Do a 30 caps. It's less than a $20 bill. Okay, you save $10. 60, 120, 240. Our producer let me know that over 85% of all of our orders are coming in for this size right here. And you can see the reason why. After today, if there was any left, it would be $180. If you order today, well, you're saving more than you're spending. It's $89.90. There was a fabulous review just now from a lady discussing pricing and what you pay in the drugstore for, quite frankly, some inferior products. This is competitive. It's affordable. It's funny because for as much as Andrew is so passionate about bringing you the finest, no compromise ingredients, Andrew, the other thing that I know you've always sought to do is bring them in at prices that we can afford.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the most difficult things with probiotics, that the products out in stores, probiotics can be inherently unstable, and now a lot of companies are making products that don't require refrigeration. I'm not sure if they go about it with the same degree of diligence and demanding nature that I do. So who knows how long it's been sitting in some warehouse or some shipping trucks or things like that. When you're getting this product, as I said, this product didn't exist in terms of the Ultimate Friendly Floral. We probably started making this product less than a month ago. So you're getting it fresh to you. It gets shipped to you quickly and rapidly. We also make sure when we produce the product that it says more than 25 billion, because when we make this product, there's actually more than 30 billion and close to 40 billion colony-forming units per capsule. We do that because we know that some of you might be a little unkind to the product. And even if you are, we want to make sure that this gives you all the benefits, all the potency. And what we also did, we made them more stable in the bottle. More importantly, we made it more stable in your stomach, because it has to get through. It's sort of like running the gauntlet, as they say. Your probiotic organisms have to survive the acid and enzymes in your stomach in order to do the wonderful work it does in your body. That can't be ignored, and most companies do ignore it. Also, we also contemplate how well those organisms are going to populate. So it's not good enough to say, well, we put it in the bottle, there we go. You got to consider all of these other things, or you're making a half-baked, half-cooked probiotic product. And what's most important, you want it to be affordable. You know, I see products that are a few dollars a dose for a probiotic product. We've managed, especially today, to make this even better and even more affordable than it's ever been before. So it's a great opportunity. And as I said before, saying that we could live without probiotic organisms within our digestive tract would be like saying you could live without your kidneys or live without your liver. I mean, it's just that extreme. They are an integral part of healthy digestion. They're an integral part of a healthy immune system. So yes, most of us have probiotics, but it's not a healthy balance because of the way we eat, the way we live. I think we pop those proton pump inhibitors that you were talking about, those very sophisticated antacids, like candy. They're among the most popular drugs we consume. And all different drugs affect the environment in our digestive system. I was just going to read some quick science here, if I could. Then I'll bring the dogs over. Actually, I'm standing. We haven't really moved into Santa Monica yet. I wrote in my blog that after a couple of years of feeling frightened and threatened by fires and whatnot in Malibu, and Muriel and I only spend a couple of months a year in California, but it's near my mom and near my dad and near my goddaughter, that we decided to get away from that craziness. So we're going to be moving into this place eventually in Santa Monica. That's the kitchen, I should say. That's Muriel's room. And so it's fun to just do this and introduce everyone to where we'll be. And hopefully we'll do a few shows from here in the future. But these charts here, just are some quotes from the science. And again, if you want to talk about probiotics and science, we're not talking about a few hundred research studies or a few thousand research studies. We are talking about tens of thousands of research studies. We're talking about studies that far outnumber even the most reliably clinically tested medication you'd ever contemplate using. So that's the kind of clinical support and research that goes into a product like this. But this is from the Biomedical Research International. Probiotic intervention, meaning taking a probiotic with or without a specific diet composition, would help to improve the microbiota functionality in order to obtain health benefits during old age. And as we age, once we get over the age of 30 or 35, that's when we really, and that's not old age, but that's when we really start to see the impact of our microbiota. Likewise, the presence of some beneficial microorganisms in the gut could help to prevent or delay some age-associated health issues, including age-related memory changes, age-related immune response. These are things that really determine our health as we age. The role of gut microbiota in human aging include two main aspects: immunomodulatory, how it affects our immune system, and also nutritional, energy availability, metabolism, absorption of nutrients. I was going to skip ahead here. There was a great chart here that, where was it? Hence, This is from Case Reports in Medicine. Hence, restoring a balance of microbial flora is essential in the presence of various UTI-promoting factors such as synthetic lingerie, intimate perfume washing gel, and tampons. So things that might affect UTIs, probiotics can tend to counteract them. Probiotics are thought to aid at the GI tract of female reproductive organs to resist invasion and adhesion of uropathogens, regulate intestinal flora, decrease constipation at the right doses, enhance the immune system, and increase the population of lactobacillus that modulate local pH. We can go a little bit longer here because I just want to cover a few more of these charts. From mammalian genome, there is a growing appreciation that the microbiome plays a vital and active role in the development and function of basic physiologic processes, including digestion, growth, immune defense, and more recently has been shown to influence brain development and mood. I'm just going to skip ahead to the one chart that really, as you can see, there's so much science on these things, that sums up how we go about making this product differently. And where is it here? I know it's somewhere in here because I remember reviewing it. But this just gives you a sense of all the abundance of research. And where is it? It's probably at the very bottom, of course. I don't even see it here. Unfortunately, it's not here. But what it talks about is what I mentioned before, that when it comes to our ultimate friendly flora, what we do is we focus specifically on what the science told us we needed to do, that we need to create a species, strains that are the most important to our body that have been clinically reviewed. We do that. We need to make sure that they remain stable in the bottle, come what may, stable in that bottle. Then they need to survive the acid in your stomach. And that acid in your stomach destroys virtually everything, breaks down whatever food we eat. Then it needs to get into the other organs, especially our colon and other organs, and populate it efficiently to deliver the benefits you seek, or you are wasting your money. And unfortunately, with a lot of probiotics on the market that are sitting on store shelves and warehouses and God knows where, you're likely wasting your money. This is a freshly made product, freshly and newly designed, and it's already an almost perfectly reviewed product, so imagine how well this one will be received.
Yeah, and it's important to know that Andrew is HSN's #1 most beloved, most well-reviewed brand, folks. You're buying the very finest. Thank you for your orders. Andrew mentioned it, and I do want to stress to you, we're over 50% sold out now, especially in that larger size. I think there's a lot of excitement and buzz around today being day one, the worldwide launch of the newest formula ever, so certainly take advantage while it's there. So I said there was 3 today's specials. That was #1. #2 and #3 are phosphatidylcholine, PC liver and brain, and liver antioxidants. We're going to talk about the liver and all the important work that it does as a way to maintain its filtration and regenerative abilities, as a way to enhance its ability to detoxify and also to protect itself. These are 2 wonderful products, and today we have the opportunity to buy them individually or together. So you can buy them individually or together. Let me show you what that looks like. 120, 180, 360 or the 720 of the PC liver and brain. You can see the pricing is really substantial. I mean, sensational savings across the board. You can get 720 caps for the same price of, typically as 360 counts. So really phenomenal value. If you're going for the liver antioxidants again, the pricing tiers are the same, but what most people have been doing since midnight, as Andrew's going to talk to us about, is bundling the 2 together. They are the dynamic duo. So there's a 360 plus the 180, which would, if purchased separately, cost you $157. Today it's 74 and change, so you're saving $82.80. Or the 2 largest size, which represent the biggest value as we stock up on this 1 day per year, the 720 plus the 360, you're looking at nearly $300 worth there. If you buy it today while supplies last, it's $124.90, so you're saving significantly more than you're spending. Andrew, we often joke about it, but a liver's job is never done. I mean, it's one of the hardest working organs in the body, and we have to show it some love.
It's not one of the hardest working organs in the body. It is, I always say, the hardest working organ in the body, and it's also the organ that gets the least respect. We have no real conscious connection. If I'm going to run upstairs in a moment, my heart rate will go up, my breathing will go up. I know I have heart and lungs. We do a lot of work, we might get a headache. We do a lot of work with close-up work, our eyes might hurt. So we have a connection to organs. We have no connection to the just incredible constant work our liver is doing. And without the liver doing that work, no other organ will have its day, because the liver is responsible for creating the environment in which all the other organs do their work. What's exciting about this today's special, if you only want the PC, most folks are getting the bundle, but if you only want the PC, to get that product, and you only need to take 1, maybe 2 capsules a day at most, 1 capsule is fine, it's about $0.10 a capsule. $0.10 a capsule. Roughly speaking, the liver antioxidant extracts, which contains very expensive botanical extracts, very sophisticated extracts, it's about 20 cents a capsule. It's about double. If you get the two together, the savings is such that you're paying basically a little over $0.10 a capsule for both of them. And in the large bundle, at 1 capsule a day, it's 2 years of PC. 2 capsules a day, it's 1 year of PC. And as far as liver antioxidants, you only need to take 1 capsule a day. It's 1 year supply. So unbelievably affordable in terms of supply. I'll really get into the details of what our liver is doing for us, what we expect from it, and why these products make such a profound difference. Simply speaking, if you're building a brick wall, you'd need bricks. PC, that's the bricks of our liver, also happens to be the bricks of our brain. So when you're doing wonderful things for your liver, you're doing wonderful things for your brain. Even years ago, when we introduced this product over 30 years ago, it was all about the brain. I didn't even mention the liver. All I did is talk about the brain and the benefits to memory and concentration and mental acuity. So you still get those benefits for this product that costs $0.10 a day. And then the liver antioxidant extracts. This is the time of year where our eating habits, when our drinking habits, when the medications we have anywhere are still there, it all increases the burden on our liver. This is the time of year to really give it a test run. Money back guarantee on everything I talk about, not for 30 days, but all the way until January 31st. So now I'm going to go get a little bit of a workout. I'm going to run upstairs, and we're going to shoot the rest from upstairs. Hopefully the fog is cleared here in Santa Monica, and we have a little bit of a pretty view for everybody to enjoy. I'll see you in a sec.
Thank you, Andrew. It's true, and it's actually a little different today because normally PC Liver and Brain and Liver Antioxidants, the today's special, is at the start of the year. Andrew wanted to do it at the end of the year due to your request. Many of you have written in or emailed in and said, listen, this is the time of year where we really kind of go to town. We indulge a little more. We have some richer food. Maybe we're drinking a little bit more than usual as well. So let's be proactive. Let's get it now so we can prepare ourselves and start doing good for our liver. The structural molecule, the critical structural molecule, phosphatidylcholine, such an important purchase if you're ordering today. And as Andrew said, you can buy that by itself, $0.10 a day if you're looking at some of those larger sizes. The two together make so much sense. When you think about what the liver has to do and the hard work that it's delivering day in and day out, again, feeding our body, giving our body the things that it needs is so important. So I just want to show you again, because the pricing on the side, so everybody understands, the price of PC Liver and Brain is the same in terms of the tiers as the liver antioxidants, okay? The capsule counts are slightly different. To make it really easy, and I really believe it does, just buy both. Because look, you can get 360 of the PC Liver and Brain, and of course 180 of the liver antioxidants, and it's only $74.90. I mean, maybe that's the one you want to go for. Then you've got the best of all worlds, both worlds. You're saving more than you're spending, and then you've got everything that you need. If you want to go for the larger size, maybe you're restocking, you're stocking up today. Maybe you always shop for this once a year, then go for the 720 plus the 360. Significant, substantial savings. Why is it so much money? Because at $289.60, you're buying the finest, formulated, following the science ingredients that money can buy, and that's what's important. Today, as we mentioned, Andrew makes it affordable. Andrew, it's such a pleasure to do this. This seems, as you always do, groundbreaking to have you there in Santa Monica.
And going through those pricing charts, everyone should remember on that large size, that's $124, you're getting 720 and 360. So you're getting 1,080 capsules. So you're spending about 11 cents a capsule. And the liver antioxidant extracts, those are extremely expensive botanicals. Our PC is the highest concentration liquid PC. We don't make a big deal about it, but not only are you getting phosphatidylcholine in that product, but you're getting the other two most important phospholipids in the liver and brain. You're getting phosphatidylethynolamine and phosphatidylinositol. So it's really far more than a PC product. And most people are getting the bundles, but even if you just wanted to get that crazy savings on the PC and get a dime a capsule for the large size, you could always just try the small liver antioxidant extracts, the 60 capsule supply. You could try that for, say, the next 60 days. That will take you through the holidays. So you really get a chance to see, as I said before, like running the gauntlet or baptism of fire. This is the toughest time of year for our liver. And I wish I could be an advocate for our liver. The work that our liver performs is just absolutely, there's no better word than crazy, insane. It's just a remarkable burden. Think of any drug or medication we may take. The myriad of antibiotics or antidepressants or cholesterol-lowering drugs or antihypertensives or drugs for type 2 diabetes, whatever it might be, or chemotherapeutic agents. It's our liver that is burdened with the work of getting rid of that and breaking it down, metabolizing it, detoxifying us to keep us alive, to keep us healthy. But that's not its only job. Most of us mistake that as the liver's only job. The liver is also first line of defense in metabolism for cholesterol metabolism, for fat metabolism, for carbohydrate and glucose metabolism, for amino acid metabolism. Also, any of the contaminants that we're drowning in our modern society. The liver is the site of chemical breakdown and detoxification. So if you think your liver isn't the hardest working organ in your body, then all it would need to do is go on vacation for a little while, and you might not notice any problems with your liver, but you'd start noticing problems with your brain, like a brain fog. You'd start noticing problems with cardiac function. You start noticing problems with all of your other organs the moment the liver wasn't doing its job adequately. And why are these two products important? They're important for the most easy to comprehend reasons imaginable. First of all, why is PC important? If you look at the liver's membrane surface area is critical and integral to what it does. In fact, the liver's about the size of a football. I guess today's football Sunday. So it's about the size of a football. It's our largest internal organ. It's bigger than our brain, bigger than our lungs, largest internal organ. Yet, its surface area, membrane surface area that's doing all this filtering and work, this metabolic work, this chemical work on our behalf, it's about the size of 8 football fields. 8 football fields. What's a football field? Including end zones, it's 120 yards long. So think about 8 football fields end to end. What does that end up being? That's about 1,000 yards long. That's about 3,000 feet long. And how wide is a football field? Probably about 30, 40 yards. That's just enormous. That's acres and acres and acres of surface area that's doing all this chemical work constantly on our behalf, whether we're awake or whether we're asleep. So why is PC relevant? Because 2/3 of those 8 football fields, roughly 5 of them, it's PC. It's phosphatidylcholine. So it is the building block. And what is the earmark? What is one of the most unique characteristics of the liver? The liver is constantly repairing itself, constantly renewing itself, constantly regenerating itself. What does that mean? It needs raw materials. What's the most important raw material? Phosphatidylcholine, as well as phosphatidylinositol and phosphatidylethanolamine. With those 3 phospholipids, we're talking about well over 80% of the phospholipid surface area, the membrane surface area of the human liver. And we're not even getting to the brain, and originally this product was all about the brain. So now we're just focusing on the liver. More importantly, the liver just doesn't repair and renew itself. The liver also has the unique ability that no other organ in the human body possesses to regenerate itself. And again, if you're regenerating it, what do you need? You need raw material. What is the principal raw material? It's phosphatidylcholine. So just starting super affordably without even thinking of the bundles, the phosphatidylcholine, it is, if you read the clinical studies and clinical research on folks who are monitoring their liver and monitoring the efficacy of their liver, how well it's working, phosphatidylcholine is a staple, it is a standard, is a foundational ingredient for the most basic, non-scientific, common sense reason in the world. It's what it's made of, as is our brain. As far as liver antioxidant extracts, we know that detoxification and regeneration is a critical role of the liver. And the liver, again, is the only organ that can regenerate itself. The ingredients, specifically milk thistle, standardized for silymarin, and then artichoke extract, standardized for cynarin, and of course, turmeric, our special turmeric standardized for curcuminoids. And our milk thistle is also combined and complexed with fat to dramatically enhance its bioavailability. So it's unlike any other milk thistle you'll find anywhere else. So the two together, there's no better liver cleanse, there's no better time of year to enjoy it, and they are so affordable. To get these two incredible products in either of the bundles at barely over $0.10 a capsule, or to get the PC on its own at barely $0.10 a capsule, is a once-a-year opportunity to do something remarkable for your body.
And to Andrew's point, over 1,400 reviews, 1,100 are perfect 5 stars. So it gives you some idea that over the months and over the years, people that order these products, they go online and they feel so strongly about it that they are compelled to leave a review. And in some cases, this isn't just a line or two, this is an essay of people really praising the quality, the integrity, the credibility of the product, its ingredients, and the beneficial impact that it has on you. We're extremely busy. If you can use automated express ordering, that's the best way to order. Go to hsn.com, certainly as a way to beat the rush. We are standing at about 20,000 sold. I know Andrew is working with the team always to ensure quantity for everybody. What I can see is out of 20,000 sold, only 6,000 left. So just to kind of throw that out there, it is getting limited. The reason is the value has never been stronger. As you can tell, Andrew is focusing certainly on, if you only buy one, buy the phosphatidylcholine, right? That important ingredient, giving us, as he said, the raw material that it needs to keep doing its job and doing it well, right? So if you just buy the phosphatidylcholine, you're gonna be in a great place. 4 different sizes of that. So let's go over the pricing. If you just want the PC, liver and brain, PC stands for phosphatidylcholine, you can choose the 120, 180, 360, or 720. Pricing, obviously, as you can see, varies. After today, that's what it would be. If you order it right now, really fabulous savings on the finest in the world. I always recommend going for the larger size because your savings really add up. Look at the difference, look at the jump. The 360 caps saves you $25. Jump to the 720, you save $65. Remembering that every single product that Andrew has right now, you have till the end of January of 2020 to make up your final mind. If you so desire, you want to send it back, as Andrew would say, please do so. He, as does HSN, as do I, want you to be happy. Here's the liver antioxidants, those 3 special botanicals that we talked about to help detoxify and to help to protect. You can choose different capsule amounts, but the same amazing pricing is available today. Now, if you want the 1-2 punch, if you want to give your liver everything you could possibly do in terms of Andrew Lessman's brilliant products, you can do the combo. And the combo, as you would imagine, offers the biggest value for money. So 360 plus 180 is just $74.90. Okay, so that's 360 of the PC liver and brain and 180 of the liver antioxidants. The largest sizes would normally cost you, if purchased separately, nearly $300. If you order it right now, it's $124 and change. Notice the 5 flex pay that's available as well. All of Andrew's products in the largest sizes are on flex pay, and they all ship out for free. This is Andrew's final visit of the month, and this is the only day this year where you can get this as a today's special. You talk about the liver, you hear from Andrew the importance of the liver. The work is never done. It's the hardest working organ in our body. What are we doing to help it? Especially, as you know, I mean, I eat a little more, maybe some of the wrong foods, the richer foods. Maybe we have one too many drinks one evening when we're celebrating with friends or family over the holidays. I'm thrilled, Andrew, that you kind of did this now, and this was based on customer feedback anyway, to do the Today Special a little earlier.
Typically, we've done this in January, which is sort of, I mean, not my approach to things, because January, it's sort of using it to treat whatever we did wrong. These are not drugs or medicines, but I'd rather be ahead of things. I'd rather be preemptive. I'd rather be preventative. I'd rather make sure that we have the tools necessary to support the health of our liver along the way. What I have here is I grabbed some quotes from some medical journals, scientific journals, and on both the PC, which is just a standard. It's a staple. It's It is the building block of our liver, also the building block of our brain. And please note that just because I'm not talking about the benefits of phosphatidylcholine to the brain, and when we introduced this product over 30 years ago, that's all I talked about. I talked about how this was the most important phospholipid in the brain and how that it could help with those normal age-related memory problems that we will all suffer from eventually, that it also helps with memory and concentration. So it's one of those things that whatever you're targeting, if you're targeting your liver, you're helping your brain. If you're targeting your brain, you're helping your liver. Usually when you take a medicine or a drug, which these are not, when you're targeting your liver, you're worried about side effects to your brain or something else. So I just was going to read some of these scientific charts here. It's kind of more difficult to do sitting down, easier to do standing up. But if we look here, and then this is, PC is a phospholipid, as I've discussed. It's a large biological molecule that is a universal building block for cell membranes. Happens to be the building block for 2/3 of the cell membranes in our liver that are 8 football fields of membranes. That's because our liver, although it's our largest internal organ, it has to do so much work. They have to pack so much surface area into those membranes, and that's why it's 8 football fields, 5 of which are phosphatidylcholine. A cell's membranes are its essence. They regulate the vast majority of the activities that make up life. What gets in, what gets processed, what gets out. Most liver metabolism occurs on cell membranes, which occupy about 33,000 square meters in the human, which 33,000 square meters roughly is the equivalent of 350,000 square feet, which is roughly 8 or 9 acres. 8 or 9 acres of working surface area. That's how hard your liver is working. 8 or 9 acres. Phosphatidylcholine is one of the most important support nutrients for the liver. More than 2 decades of clinical trials indicate that PC protects the liver against damage from alcohol. Again, not a license to drink alcohol, not a license to consume more alcohol, and it's not a drug. It's just a critical structural molecule of the liver, and the liver is the site of alcohol processing. Pharmaceuticals, pollutant substances, viruses, and other toxic influences, most of which operate by damaging cell membranes. PC's diverse benefits and proven safety, absolute essential nutrient PC, indicate that it is a premier liver nutrient. The human liver is confronted with tens of thousands of exogenous, external substances every day. The metabolism of these substances can result in the liver's detoxificating enzymes, producing reactive metabolites that attack the liver tissue. Detoxificative, that's not a word I usually use. Dietary supplementation with PC significantly speeds recovery of the liver. PC has also been shown to be effective against alcohol's liver toxicity in well-controlled studies. PC is a major component of dietary phospholipids and is absorbed well in humans when administered orally, as we do here. Recent reports have suggested that PC may play a protective role in liver injury. Findings of the present study also suggest that PC might be useful in the preservation of liver functions. The best documented clinical success with PC to date, its significant amelioration, that means improvement, of liver damage, probably because liver recovery following damage requires substantial replacement of cell membrane mass. And again, 5/8, 60%, 2/3 of the cell membrane mass is phosphatidylcholine. The findings from 8 double-blind trials and numerous other clinical reports indicate consistently significant clinical benefit, including improvement of enzymatic and other biochemical indicators, faster functional and structural rebuilding of liver tissue, accelerated restoration of subjects' overall well-being, and improved survival following PC treatment. It's a serious ingredient. Just here's a review on PC. Helped my liver count. I had an abnormal liver enzymes count, and my doctor was concerned, so he decided to rerun the tests in 2 months. During those 2 months, I took these 2 supplements for liver health, PC liver and brain benefits and liver antioxidant extracts. Well, my doctor and I were both so amazed and pleased that when the liver enzyme tests were repeated in 2 months, the tests came back within the normal range. I've continued to take these supplements now that I know that they really work. Thank you for such great products from Arthur in Ohio. This is from Medical Journal Nutrition and Clinical Practice. And this is from milk thistle, silymarin, the key ingredient in our liver antioxidant extracts. An intriguing effect of silymarin is its ability to enhance the liver's regenerative capacity. And that is the unique attribute of the liver. After partial hepatectomy, that means partial removal of the liver in the rat. The above findings demonstrate that silymarin is a potent protective agent of the liver against a wide spectrum of injurious agents. This is a review of PC. Beneficial supplement. I've been taking these for quite a while. I drink up to 2 glasses of wine a day and hope this supplement is helping to support the health of my liver. Last year, my liver enzyme test came back perfect. So I give some credit to this product. They cause no issues with my stomach, which is a plus. I would recommend from Peggy in Pennsylvania. From Frontiers in Pharmacology, a medical journal, silymarin, the active ingredient in liver antioxidant extracts, is used in the treatment of liver-related issues in some EU countries and China. Silymarin, a standardized extract of milk thistle seeds, has been widely used to treat liver damage. Silymarin, an extract from the Silybum marianum milk thistle plant containing various flavonolignans, with silibin being the major one, has received a tremendous amount of attention over the last decade as an herbal remedy for liver treatment. Antioxidant, therefore, silymarin is most well known for its antioxidant and chemoprotective effects on the liver and is often prescribed and self-prescribed as a complementary and alternative hepato-liver protective medicine. Silymarin is being studied as a hepato-neuro-nephro kidneys and cardioprotective ingredient due to its strong antioxidant and tissue regenerative properties. And lastly, nutrition and clinical practice. In the United States, silymarin is probably the most widely used form of complementary and alternative medicine in the treatment of the liver. Claims have been made for its hepatoprotective effects in various forms of liver tissues due to its antioxidant and other activities. So between the structural role that phosphatidylcholine plays in the regeneration, the repair, the renewal of the liver, and then the supportive role that liver antioxidant extracts, milk thistle with silymarin, turmeric with curcuminoids, and artichoke extract standardized for cynarin, it is the perfect combination, the perfect marriage of protection for the most important organ in the human body.
And today is the best day to do it, folks. Our pricing is sensational. So many of you are ordering. We see you there. Thank you in advance. I know you won't be disappointed, but please bear with us. We're trying to get to you as fast as possible. I'm a little bewildered because it's only lunchtime and we're kind of already through so much of our available quantity. So make sure you don't hang up. On the way next, I was kind of itching to get to this. I was hoping, I went to bed last night hoping that this would be in our show, Resveratrol. It's red wine's most well-researched and highly respected anti-aging compound, a beauty anti-aging secret. There is no doubt about it, but I want to show you something. It's one of Andrew's very popular products. We know that. If you're into making sure you're doing everything you can for anti-aging, this is a key, but you might not have realized what happened. 2 days ago, when Andrew and I talked about this for the first time on the Friday night show, Andrew revealed something I wasn't expecting. Those of you with an eagle eye, can you see something that looks odd on this chart? I'll go through it and I'll highlight it at the end. There's a 30, 60, 180 or 360. Pricing is normally here. Special pricing is here, and this is the savings. Except I want to show you. You see the $39.90 for the 180 and the $59.90 for the 360? That was not supposed to be. That was an error. The proper pricing was going to be $89.90 or $99.90. The charts were printed, the mistake was made, and Andrew wonderfully agreed to just honor this phenomenal pricing so you save $100 while supplies last on the 360. Andrew, a happy mistake and a wonderful one to take advantage on this Sunday morning.
Well, a very happy mistake for everyone who wants to try resveratrol. Resveratrol is really respected for its anti-aging role, and there's thousands of studies looking at resveratrol's anti-aging role. Today, at a little more than $0.10 a capsule in the large size, it's incredibly, incredibly affordable. We, of course, get our resveratrol from the very best source of what's called trans resveratrol, the proper stereoisomer. We get it from the Polygonum cuspidatum plant. And although there are products that have even higher potencies and people are saying you should take 1,000 or 2,000 milligrams a day, I think that's crazy. The way I approach nutritional supplementation is as you would approach a healthy diet. You want a balanced complement of all the important nutrients. You don't want to overdose on any one nutrient. Then you start treating it like a drug. And resveratrol isn't a drug. At 100 milligrams, maybe even 200 milligrams, that's the perfect amount. You get your CoQ10, you get the ingredients, the beneficial ingredients in liver antioxidant extract, which, by the way, there's also great research on resveratrol and its hepatoprotective, its liver protective properties. The greatest research on resveratrol, beyond the research on the beauty of our skin, the health of our skin, the greatest research on resveratrol is how it goes about sort of simulating or emulating or imitating the anti-aging properties that we've already observed from fasting, from reduced caloric intake, from caloric restriction. So that's where people have been most excited about resveratrol. And again, you don't need to overdose on it to get it beneficial. You could spend pennies a day and get the benefits of resveratrol. Again, this comes from its very best source. It's 100% pure. There's no additives. And in the large size, it's pennies a day. It's a perfect partner with our Today Special. And by the way, we didn't get a chance to mention both the PC Liver and Brain and the liver antioxidant extracts and the bundles are all down into the hundreds. So the minute we end this show, probably in about an hour, I'm going to get in touch. We're going to get in touch with our factory and see if we have the capacity to make more of our PC Liver and Brain, more of our liver antioxidant extracts, even more of our Ultimate Friendly Flora, because otherwise we're going to be talking about something else this evening at 8 p.m. So I hope we'll be able to figure that out. And with the resveratrol as well, we're getting a little low on that as well. And this is a monthly special that I'm sure even if we run out today on the resveratrol, we'll be able to restock it quickly so it could be the monthly special for the rest of the month. And remember, as much as it's a monthly special, and this used to be a Today Special every year for probably 15 years, hadn't been a Today Special for a long time, but this is the best price ever. So we might call it a monthly special, but it's a Today Special in terms of pricing today.
So take advantage. I mean, if it's been on your list of, okay, I wanted to try that from Andrew, today is your day to do it, there's no question. We're processing calls from over 1,000 people. Just to reiterate, this is a wonderful, happy error that was made. I want to show you why everybody's buying this. And I just don't want you to miss out today, because the sooner you start taking it, the sooner, touch wood, please God, you start to feel the benefits of those anti-aging wonderful properties that it has. But look, the 360 is $59. It wasn't supposed to be that. It was supposed to be $89 or $99. It's $59.90 for the largest size. So look, it's $100 saving. If you can, it should be on your list to order this. I know we're showing you lots of wonderful things today, but make this a priority while you've got that extra special savings. As Andrew mentioned, it been a Today Special for many years in a row. This year it isn't, but ironically, this is the best value it has ever been. Andrew, final words on our resveratrol?
Final words on our resveratrol. The special pricing, I guess, is my way to apologize. That what happened was I reduced my number of shows, so we didn't have as many Today Specials. So about 5 or 6 years ago, this just kind of dropped off the radar. And it wasn't until we started doing the Monday night shows when we field all these questions, like tomorrow night, that I saw questions, what happened to resveratrol? Why isn't resveratrol a Today Special? So the reason why, and this literally was made a decision a week ago. So this product wasn't in production probably until the last week. So it's going to be the freshest resveratrol anyone's ever seen. So it's my apologies for this not being a Today Special for a number of years after having been a Today Special for almost 20 years straight. So that $59.90 and even, I think it's $39.90 for the 180. I think the 180 price is only a little bit more expensive than the normal 60 price. Yep. So whatever you choose, enjoy what is really being focused on as the #1 plant-based botanical anti-aging compound. It's talked about the polyphenols in resveratrol. The polyphenol that is resveratrol is even more potent polyphenol than that in green tea, or more potent polyphenol than that even in chocolate. So it's an opportunity for pennies a capsule to enjoy one of the most protective compounds, anti-aging compounds, that has ever been contemplated. So enjoy.
And don't forget, 4.5-star rating with all the reviews that come through for it. Everybody loves the Resveratrol. Be patient with us. I promise we will get to you, and we have one for you.
And by the way, I'm not sure if my mic is still up.
Yeah.
By the way, behind me, that's Santa Monica Canyon. So we're in Santa Monica, and that's Santa Monica Canyon behind us, if you could kind of get a view of it. And if you go another 17 or 18 miles, that's kind of where we lived in Malibu, which unfortunately the last few years we've been surrounded by fire, it seems, all the time, and almost didn't escape the last time. So that's why we're, maybe too much information, but that's why we're, the couple of months I spend in California, because my mom and dad